If you've ever experienced pain or tension between the scap and spine in this area, we're gonna give you a couple strategies to kind of help alleviate that and hopefully prevent it. Punching away, allow that protraction to reach. Rotating up simultaneously, scaps get retracted, and then from there, pull from that lengthened position, rotating. So we wanna let that scap reach around into that protracted position. Starting out from the side laying position, I'm gonna use this yoga block here to support his neck some. He's gonna bring his knees up, so he's in this side laying position. And from here, we have a flat back, slight protraction, reach. He's gonna grasp a kettlebell, ease more on the lighter side, and he's just gonna lift off. Lift off and hold, DJ, creating tension. He's driving his left hand into the ground to give him a little bit of stability. And from here, he's just holding this isometric, really loading that tissue in a lengthened position. And we can lengthen it more by punching away, allow that protraction to reach, reach, reach. Hold that strong wrist, slow down. Where are you feeling that at?
All my scap.
All in that scap area, right around between?
The big difference to me is that 2 inches when you fully extend it. Like I feel stronger here, like I feel like I can just rip it off the floor, but I don't get any stretch out of it. It feels like I'm just trying to create a pump. As soon as I extend that knuckle out, it's all the difference in the world to me. Devil's in the details, man, like with everything we do. I try to lock down my lower body so I don't have to think about it, because a lot of times, ego lifting, I'll have too much weight and then I start to search for stability to try to get this up, and you'll watch my scapula naturally kind of retract back. I'm trying to get a light enough weight to when I do, I press this support hand into the ground, everything's locked in, I don't have to use anything to try to donate to my mobility here. As I press, or as I lift it up, I'm trying to think about this middle knuckle, and then I just try to extend it out, just ever so slightly. I can really feel it isolate on that scap, on that rear delt area, and I can feel it actually roll around and stretch. If I do it, and I bring this arm in, and I kind of lift it, it feels the same, but now I'm not getting any of that stretch.
Yeah.
So that devil is just driving that knuckle out and really being strong, not letting my wrist collapse. Everything's nice and even. Press this thing into the ground, locked in, rigid, and then ever so slightly keep extending.
Yeah. Next spot, we're going with this split stance. I love this setup because it doesn't allow our lower body to donate so much mobility to the cause. He's gonna be in the split stance setup. Right fist is on the ground, band about shoulder width apart, and from here he's gonna rotate up to the ceiling. Rotating up, reaching up to the ceiling, strong wrist, stacked lines, bringing it back to that center point. As he brings it abound, once again, we're letting this tissue open up, letting that full stretch happen, and from this full stretch here, starting that contraction, DJ, rotating up simultaneously, scaps get retracted together, holding this stick position, and then we're relinquishing this tension, we're letting that scap reach, he's punching his fist away, no different than he did that last exercise, really trying to lengthen all that tissue around his upper back. Simultaneous contraction, pulling it together, DJ, stacking those scaps, retracting that ability, pulling it back in together, letting that tension lengthen, load that release, back through. What are you coaching up yourself when you're pushing through this position?
I imagine drawing back a bowstring.
Oh!
But not to let my wrist collapse. The entire time I'm fighting through it, I can feel the tension build really, really strong, and I just think, don't let that wrist break. By the time I get to here, I'm envisioning the straight line between that knuckle, through my arm, through my scaps.
Almost like you're holding that draw position.
And right now I'm trying to make it as straight line as humanly possible and just make sure I'm in control the entire time. If I start to bend this elbow at all, it'll feel like it knocks me off my center line. So that's why I really focus on that wrist being super straight and drawing a straight line between these 2 points.
When you're relinquishing it back and letting that go, are you actively punching out and reaching?
I am, because if I just release tension, it naturally wants to break my arm. I try to extend out that middle knuckle, and I try to make it as long as possible to force those scaps to roll over. If I keep them all hunched in, I don't get anything out of it. It's more like a stability drill.
The tension of the band has to be a little bit less so that you can get that reach. Because I notice even when you're in that starting point, you kind of try to get like a little bit of English, almost like you're trying to widen your back some so that you get that pull from that lengthened position.
Because what I don't want to do is start with it with no stretch or too much stretch, and I basically get to hear there's no involvement.
Exactly.
And then I can just slap through it. Almost like I'm holding a beach ball. I'm just trying to stretch out those scaps as far as I can.
Yep.
Same thing.
And then pulling from that scap position.
Yep. Same thing. Start my tension.
Rotating up, stacking, rigid. Now from this setup, he has a base of support with his left arm here, and he's gonna do a needle through. So he's reaching through, but we're using a band loaded resistance here to kind of load that resistance further. DJ's letting this band take him in, letting that reach occur, and then from here simultaneously pulling the band, rotating and rowing. So I get that scap retraction on the backside. We're touching them both together, but then we get the loaded movement of getting that full stretch here. DJ's leaning in, getting that rotation of the spine as well, simultaneously bringing back, contracting those scaps together at the same exact time. Let that reach to occur, DJ, lean into it, and then from there, pull from that lengthened position, rotating, rowing up. Reach and row, one more rep, pull in, contract.
From this position, I'm trying to exhale and reach as far as I can, and then I actually apply a little bit of resistance. I put the back side of this hand down, and when I lean into it, I can feel that
Is that
scap
similar
stretch.
to the stretch that you do?
100%.
Yeah.
But this one, because it's already pulling me back, if I want to make it a little more challenging, step out another half inch, and now by the time it gets it here, if I just exhale into it, it'll naturally just drag me.
So it's almost like you're using the band as a loaded stretch before you even pull.
Yep.
Like kind of like winching your body.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then as soon as I'm ready to redirect it, I just pull in, retract that scap a little bit, and then build that tension so it's not like a sloppy row. Slowly but surely in control, and then I let my head follow my wrist. I get to here, I extend that arm,
Yep.
apply a little downward pressure, and then exhale and just lean into it.
So you got, that
Another inch
loaded, you got the loaded stretch on the backside from here, simultaneous pull while dragging, pushing your left hand into the ground, rotating up, row. So kind of similar to both of the first movements, building on each other and then pulling back into this one. All right, from the supported row setup, his hand as a base of support. From here, instead of doing a traditional row where we're bringing that elbow back to the hip, he's just gonna keep that straight arm with the left arm, and he's gonna do a scap row. So we wanna let that scap reach around into that protracted position, and from here, he's gonna dial it back, trying to squeeze from that scap to the spine area. Really easy here to let the trap take over, which is what we don't want. Trap, those big muscles, we rely on them a lot, so they might wanna shrug up. Go ahead and shrug up for me, DJ. That's what we don't want to happen. We wanna draw that scap down and back and try to squeeze those together, almost like you're trying to squeeze a pencil between your scaps, letting that scap reach around from that lengthened position and then squeeze up, hold that retracted position. What's cueing you to help with this movement? Because I know it's probably difficult to differentiate between the two because you want to row it.
For me, I imagine a wishbone.
Okay.
The straight arm of it goes straight to my ear, and that's trap involvement. I'm trying to bring it back, and like that V shape, back over my shoulder. So if I try to just bring it straight up to my ear, I end up doing a trap row.
Yeah.
I have to bring it back past my shoulder. So I
So,
think
so,
about
so you're kind of cueing like a diagonal back, like is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because if I don't, like if I normally just pull it, like that seems so much easier because it's all trap involvement.
Yep.
But that's how I mess myself up every single time. I'll get kind of sloppy with it.
Yep.
So if I just imagine it going back over that rear delt, and now when I stack it, I just pull from a different position. Instead of thinking about my ear, I think about my rear delt.
Do you find it beneficial to cue from like a shoulder pulling back or in closer to your scap inside pulling towards your
Closer
spine?
into my scap, because then
Okay.
I know the direction I'm going. If I think about just my shoulder, that straight line kind of takes over, and it makes me feel like I'm going to pull straight in my ear.
Like
So-
that's cueing against with what we don't want.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which is like the very first time we did it, that's what I kept doing over and over because it feels natural. It feels like that's the groove.
Well, your
That's-
traps are so strong. They're
Yeah.
just like, hey, we've done this before. Do it.
I'm not trying to get traps involved now, so
Yep.
now I've got to cue myself somewhere different. And for me, dude, one of the biggest tips, if you have a guy with you, is when you come over and give me a physical cue, you touch and tell me to pull in a
Yeah.
certain area,
Yep.
then I get it. 'Cause if not, even with the mirror, sometimes I lose it. But for me, if I just have a general area, it's like pull right there. It might not be the full range of motion, I think. Maybe the weight's too much, but at least I'm pulling in the right direction.
Yeah.
For me, it helps.
Perfect.